A lady sued her boyfriend for refusing to marry her in Lagos State, Nigeria, and she got 12 million naira. 12 million naira. Yes. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Vila Speaks. If you're first time viewer, thank you for joining me today. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love you. Thank you for always coming back to watch my video. Today, I want to talk about what is called breach of promise to marry in law. All right, come closer. This gist is hot. So recently, there's been this wave where, a lady will leave a guy at the altar, or the guy will leave the lady stranded, or after dating somebody for 5, 6, 7 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, they will now say they don't want to do again. Do you know that in the Nigerian law, you can sue for breach of promise to marry and actually win? A lady sued her boyfriend for refusing to marry her in Lagos State, Nigeria, and she got 12 million naira. Yes, this is no fable. I'm telling you the truth. It is the truth of the law. So the thing is that when you are in a relationship with somebody and you promise the person to marry, and then you made the person believe that you are going to marry them and you are going to go into a legal relationship with them. Now, when we talk about marriage is a contract, just in case that you didn't know before, marriage is a contract that is binding on both parties. That's the reason why if you breach, take for instance, you cheat, you can be sued and then the other party will win because it's actually a contract. So if you lead somebody on, be it male or female, and you tell them you are going to marry them, you make promises to them, and these promises, because of the promises that you made to them, they actually did something. Maybe the person was spending money on you, the person sent you to school, the person moved in with you, started living with you, and carrying out actions because of the promise you made to them to marry them, you'll be liable. Because what makes a contract valid is the fact that both parties agreed, or there's a notion that they have agreed to get into a contract that will be binding. So if both parties or one person believes that, oh, you promised to marry me, and then because of this promise, they have gone ahead to start making things or doing things because they believe, and then you rescind on that contract and refuse to marry them, under the eyes of the law, you are guilty of an offense and you'll be liable. You can pay damages and different fines that are available. But let me not jump ahead of myself. Let me take it one step at a time. So you see that person you're dating now, and then you are telling the person you're going to marry them. Maybe the person already moved out of their parents' house, they have kids with you and all of that, and you don't marry them and you go ahead to marry somebody else. You are in breach of the promise to marry, especially because of that promise you made to them. They have gone ahead to do things that has made the contract binding on both parties. So therefore, you are in breach of a contract. Now, also, there are defenses to this thing, all right? So let's take, for instance, you actually wanted to marry somebody and then the person did not tell you that they were, let's say, HIV positive, and then you now find out maybe before the wedding. You have a right to call off the wedding. You will not be held liable for that. But where you have led this person to believe, and then you now, maybe, what are they calling it? You now rescind, you now stop in the middle. They can sue you. But the funny thing is, most people don't sue because they feel like it's embarrassing for you to go and be pursuing man or pursuing a girl because the person refused to marry you. But the truth is that your emotions have been put to play. You have done things in consideration of that promise that they made to you. You have done things, you have spent your money. Let's say you have even built a business together. I have a story of a friend that she and her boyfriend, they built a business together, and then the boy broke up with her, collected all the money from the account, and he ran away. So things like that, they are in breach of the contract of marriage. And especially if they told you expressly, it's not the one that you just inferred. The person never told you that they were going to marry you. The person told you expressly that they are going to marry you, and because of that thing that the person told you, you acted upon those promises, and then you did things that you would not have done if they did not promise to marry you. Then they are in breach of a contract. So I'll quickly like to talk about the two aspects. First of all, that the defaulting party made a promise to marry you, and then that they refused to marry you after they had promised to marry you. So there are two types of ways this could happen. It's possible maybe before, maybe a wedding date was fixed and then they did not show up, or they canceled the wedding. Bam, you have your proof. Or before the wedding date, maybe you had not fixed, but you had already agreed to get married and all of that, and then they married somebody else. They're in breach of promise to marry, so you can sue. I'll quickly just read out what you are entitled to for this. You can get financial loss, compensation, and other punitive damages. So most important, you can get money. Somebody just got 12 million naira. So in a case in 1947 between Ike Tubosin and his girlfriend, all right, he promised to marry her and then went ahead to marry another person. So when the case was brought before the court, it was held that there was a breach of promise to marry. So if somebody promised to marry you and then they say they are not going to marry you again, and you have spent 10 years, 11 years, you have given birth for them, or a lady, you have sent her to school, you have invested, you have done things, and she has decided that she will not marry you again, shut up, sue her, and they will pay you money, a lot of, in fact, if you can calculate all the money you have spent on her, calculate it, and she and her new boyfriend or her new husband, they will pay you very, very well. I hope that you learned something today. All right, this was a very fun conversation to have. So yes, this is the Nigerian law on breach of promise to marry. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. See you on my next video. Bye.